Why can't I see you?
Because I have my webcam disabled, so I can see your webcam. Because my webcam is on this thing.
Yeah. So if you go into OBS, drill into your camera, check the box that says deactivate when not shown or whatever, and then just hit the little eyeball so it's got a slash through it, and it'll deactivate the camera. So you should be able to use
I like the way I did it.
it. But I can't see you.
That's a good thing.
That's not a good thing. It makes it less natural.
Oh, so you really?
Yeah.
That's where we're at. You know what I could do for you? I could use the second webcam and stream with you on webcam.
So if I understand the issue correctly, it's because OBS has access to the camera and it's not letting you use it.
See, I nodded. So if you if you had video, you would see that that's the case. So look,
Yeah.
before we just talk this through, I mean, let's be honest. The fact that I'm even talking to you is probably the biggest blessing you'll get in your near future. So, let's not be so picky about trying to get my video. I mean, you don't like it, watch the stream.
I'm just trying to help you with your streams.
No, I think if you look, have you even looked at the fucking stream?
Let's take a look. See.
I mean,
that would be a no.
I think got it, understood. So you're critiquing something you're not quite seeing. So, dick.
Yeah. Well, I know it's gonna have like a 5-second delay to me looking at your face. Yep.
It's not about that. It's about the holistic user experience.
All right. But
what?
Whatever.
What do
I don't know. It's just less natural. I like looking at your face and talking to you. It's more natural.
You got like a bromance thing going on with me?
No, it's just called fluid social conversation. I can see body language.
Social conversation. Holy shit.
Right now, I have a pulsating blue circle in front of me. It says it's deer.
Yeah,
in the woods.
The reason for that is social distancing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay.
Got a social distance.
I can see it.
So, do you want to tell everybody what we're doing? I mean, should we give them some insight?
I don't know. This is why did you invite me on the show today, Mr. Freak Show?
Why is it gotta be me? I feel like that's too much responsibility.
Too much.
Yeah. Can we walk that back a little bit? I mean.
Yeah, sure. What I was thinking would be really cool is there's lots of times when I think we're playing games, first-person shooters and Twitch games, where we're playing against somebody and like, damn, that guy's really good. He's got me cheating, right? And I'm going to use my buddy Kurt Parchment as an example, because I've been trying to educate him over the years, and he's a quick learner, but he's got that knee-jerk, oh, they got to be cheating response to a lot of people's gameplay.
Oh,
and
the Kurt rage, got it.
Yeah. So, the thing is that, well, I guess before we get into that, that's what we want to talk about. We want to educate, I think.
No, I'm sorry. You missed the point entirely. I mean, it.
Yeah.
First off,
well, this is my first.
You said you were getting a hat. The hat's not had. So just FYI.
I couldn't find it.
Okay, so you just.
My house is a wreck.
Did you order the ones we discussed? I mean, we don't need to let all that out. We don't need to air out all the ideas, but.
Yeah. No.
Did you order the other one?
Oh, the other one? No, it's still in my bucket. I gotta purchase
You
it.
are just a fucking giant bowl of disappointment. That's what you are.
Did you get yours? Did you get your?
Of course I did.
Hat?
Of course I did.
Not the one with the words. The other one.
Not with the one. Jeez, now you got criteria. All right, listen.
Yeah, the one that goes with the one I'm gonna get.
Wait, hold on. I'm using the wrong finger. There you go.
We'll see if I could see you.
You will. Just wait. Wait for it.
Because I had to turn the stream off because it was just screwing with my head. It's too delayed.
So, all right, we got Zach checking out the view. So, if we want to say what up to my cousin Zach, what up, Zach?
What up, Zach?
We're just a little tardy to calling that out.
We doing real names here or what? That doesn't feel right to me. What?
Well,
I'm still new to this thing.
I think we just got to get intimate with our viewers.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, hey, if you don't want your real name, you need to say it. I'm not here to fucking guess. Uh-oh. Fuck that up.
My
Hold on.
name's Bob Shenanigans.
Your name's something, all right. There we
Sounds like
go.
a horrible.
Had to make an adjustment to a thingy.
All right.
All right. So, anyways, the whole point of this little segment is just like coffee with the freak show, right?
Coffee with the Freak Show.
We're not gaming, so if you expect us to, be popping wicked headshots or dying hysterically for your viewing pleasure, this ain't the stream. This is just, Bob and I often talk in the mornings. We do get Mev quite a bit. We call it our daily prayer meeting, where Mev and I often, shoot the shit, which he's working his ass off today, so we ain't gonna get him. So Bob and I were doing all this analytical breakdown of Stadia, which came up in a conversation yesterday in stream that just fundamentally blows my mind from a technical perspective, because I'm a hardware guy. For everyone out there, my background is hardware, right? So
Yeah.
And he's a shitty software guy. I guess I got to point that way for stream. Yeah. Fucking shitty software people. Right here. Here's a perfect example of shitty software. It should be intuitive. It should know that when I point that way, that is really me pointing to your stream. I shouldn't have to reverse it. Shitty software. Anyway.
So if I rotate this way, it'll look like I'm talking at you.
Yeah, I'd have to rotate this way. Hello! Ha
No.
So, anyways, Bob and I often get into these like in-depth discussions that are pretty fucking cool, and we think people would get something out of them. So, and we're funny. I mean, let's be honest, funny as fuck, hilarious shit. So I wanted to just do coffee with the freak show and sip the morning brew, courtesy of Costa Rica. That's where mine's coming from. Yours
mine's
is coming
Folders.
from Jersey. Fucking. Yeah.
It's called Blue Collar Brew, baby.
Dude, my collars, I don't even have a collar, but if I did, it would be blue. But I'm just saying, the one spoil in life is my coffee. This fucking coffee shop, I'm not going to name them. I mean, I'd love to advertise for them because they're awesome. And they're run by two crazy cool cats.
Yeah. If I may, I got to backtrack a little bit. Software developer might sound like I'm doing a downplay for blue collar. I actually have a blue collar background. Started out as a welder, so just putting that out there.
None of that happened.
Wasn't meant to be derogatory.
Millennial blue collar. Fucking. Oh, I press keyboards. Oh, my collar's blue. No, all joking aside, no. Bob and I. So I'm management for a global IT organization, and Bob is not. And but we can both lay some decent beads, right, with a welder. I mean, I got my nice little Lincoln Tombstone out there. You can vouch for some of my welds; they're pretty good. The John Deere hat isn't fake. I got a nice little tractor out there. I do have a farm. I have chickens. I work for a living, not just telling people what to do and coach them.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing. I think a lot of us forget is that we see each other in our day to day. We get that one focus, but each and every one of us we're multifaceted. Everybody is.
Yeah.
We bring a lot to the table that people don't know about.
So things I've learned as I get older, and you see there is a gray guy popping up every so often. I think that's my deep German heritage, is that they're hyper blonde. They're not gray. They're just hyper blonde. Unlike my programmer friend here. Sorry, banter.
hyper bald going on.
No. I was commenting on the gray ghostage. I mean, dude, you're gonna be a silver fox when you're older.
Maybe.
Did you hit puberty yet?
Dude, funny story. So I'm 21. My buddy shows me his machine shop. I walk in. I'm wearing a fedora, I think, right? And the guy the shop head at the time goes, "Dude, you brought your dad in? Let's show him around." Like, no, I'm not his dad.
Well, good story. I often thought when I remember the first time I saw you in real life, and then everything after that was a blur.
Yeah, it's
I popped it
horrible.
out. No,
Horrible
no, no, no.
experience.
You were shorter than I thought. I mean, you look kind of hobbit like. Um, I'm
I
very
prefer people.
curious. I'm very curious to see if you have hairy feet, like
No,
the hobbits of Lord of the Rings. No,
but
but
I do have orange skin. I put
you
makeup
know
on.
what I should be doing for this episode of Coffee with the
I have
Freak
green
Show?
hair too.
Since you're gonna since you're participating, do you remember for our wedding present you made the paintings and I found them and I even
Oh
showed them to
yeah,
you?
yeah,
I should put them back there just so people can get a little context of how far back we go.
dude, that would be hot.
All right.
You have two of my favorite paintings.
Well, believe it or not, you're gonna think I'm bullshitting you here. So Lee and I were talking, and this was about a couple weeks ago. After I said, "Hey, look here they are, yada yada." Um, so we got them out. We're actually gonna get them properly, like professionally fucking framed. Like the downside is why I didn't do it. The frames we ended up picking out was like 300-400 bucks each, and I was like, "Fuck."
Damn.
I mean, I love you, man, and it's valuable to me. It really is valuable to me. Um, but
How about I make you some frames for like
uh,
$5?
yeah, I'm gonna just get my fucking nail gun out and just tap up some fucking some border,
No,
and I'll
here,
be fine.
yeah, yeah, dude. You know what I used to do is go to your local hardware store, get some crown molding, your favorite,
No, I know,
and
but
then
she had so I have a to-do list. Like it's not capability wise. I can build any, you know that I can build anything. The problem
yeah,
that I'm running into is my to-do list is this big, and what I actually get done on it doesn't really happen in the speed in which my better half would like it done. So,
oh yeah,
as a penance for my inability to go speed to market with it, is that I got to pay some Yakimo an obscene rate to get it done in the time frame she wants. Oh, yeah. So, cuz, check this, man. So we are PA Dutch, man. I mean, you're in the heart of it in Lebanon, Con and Archie, but I don't know if you know much, but Grandma and crew, they're from Germany, and on my other side, now this is the other side we don't have relation to. They're from Switzerland. That came from Switzerland to Germany. So ultimately, my entire family, both sides, came from Germany to America, and half of we have some commonality there. So yeah,
so if I
you are das German, ja?
so if I had to represent you as a sandwich, it would be like what ham, Swiss cheese, cheddar,
No,
a
no,
slice
no.
of American in
You don't
there,
know me at all. I mean, I'm
and
bacon.
some bratwurst.
No, I'm just bacon.
No, 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 no. Your history represented as a sandwich,
Oh,
a
oh,
tasty,
oh, oh.
delectable.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about personality. Okay, so from like a tasty delectable, from a conglomerate of my background and heritage.
Yeah, yeah. What's your sandwich?
I would have to be, I'd have to be a kraut with,
Ooh, sauerkraut. I love Rubens.
yeah, I would couple of good proper sausages, some Swiss
Bratwurst and beer,
cheese.
maybe.
Yeah, we rock some bratwurst. We'd have them beer cooked, beer battered. Yeah,
Mm.
right, beer batter isn't right. Beer cooked, it's just beer
I'm
boiled.
see. I'm a bit of a butt. We got a little bit. We got some Scottish, got some German, some English, I think, in there. God knows what else.
According to that lineage
Oh,
site,
Netherlands. We got some Netherlands in there.
oh geez, that explains a lot. So according to the heritage site I was on, they claimed, and I refute this entirely.
All
They're
right.
claiming some sort of Irish in me, and I'm like, I don't have any Irish in me. That's my wife. My wife is fucking hardcore ginger Irish, fucking
Maybe you
top of
got
the
a
morning to
smidgen.
you.
There's a
No,
little bit of German to Irish.
nope. I'm a kraut.
Maybe it's the Scotland connection.
No, well, I'm an American. Let's be clear. America,
I mean,
love America. I'm American. That's it. But from the background, when my family came from Germany, and
yeah,
then prior to that, Switzerland.
yeah, baby. America's all
Oh,
what it's all about. Nice
oh,
blend.
oh,
Best of it
oh.
all.
We got
Maybe a
crisis
touch
going on in
worse.
the Freak Show studio. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so
That
my
sandwich came out the back end.
no, my dog farted.
Well,
Oh,
your ancestry came out.
oh God, it's lingering. My dog farted, and it's just fucking horrendous.
Oh boy, I'm getting paged by the master.
Oh,
Hold on. I must. I
Oh
must.
God, it won't go away.
I gotta remove myself for a moment. Go to commercial.
Okay, you want? Okay, you want video off? Oh, you can do that. Oh wait, fuck! Put your name there, dummy. Oh no, we're not freak showing Trash Panda right now. It's just freak showing Mortal Mod. All right, so for stream watchers, Immortal Mod had a hot minute that he needed the break for, so give us a minute. I feel like he's killing my flow. So Zach, what are you thinking, man? Talk to me. You want to know anything? What don't you know about your family that you'd like to know? Oh shit. Can I teach? Yeah, can I educate you? Have you had a girlfriend? Do we need to talk about relations? Oh shit. I'm funny. I'm funny as fuck. Why are you breathing heavy into that mic?
All right, I'm back.
That is a creepy way to come back.
Because my fat self rushed back.
All right, coffee with the freak show going back.
So apparently we got real because I think the Facebook's bounced my real name in there.
Yeah, so everyone knows you for who you are. I mean, it happens.
Oh yeah, an ignoramus that doesn't know what he's talking about. It just gets by day to day.
Dude, you're gonna have people showing up at your doorstep in a minute. Alexa, arm sentry turrets.
So a little history. So Mortal Bob, actually my grandfather's name was Robert, and of course Bob's nickname.
Wasn't he like Robert the Sixth?
No, my grandfather. No, it wasn't minor though.
Sorry.
And I think on that side of the family, they bring a lot of the Scottish element.
Dude, can you do your ancient voice? Let everyone get a taste of that.
Ancient voice. I'm old and decrepit. No.
Wrong character. and just FYI for your benefit, kill that character off. Never let it come back.
Never again.
That was like necromancy. Actually, that would be good for like bringing someone back from the grave. No, we call it Old English.
7 years ago.
Dude, do you have like emphysema or something?
Mental problems? Yeah.
No, Old English. Like
Old English. All right, I gotta try to
get the character. Yeah.
Let's see. I always go to Scottish. I don't know why.
Well, I don't care. Do one of them.
Let me see.
Just freestyle it.
I'm not good at freestyle.
Just don't bring.
I'll start with the
you can't. I mean that.
Isn't this fun? On with Freak Show.
I love it.
I think we should talk about something your viewers may want to talk about, not this shenanigans about me and some things that are just ridiculous. This stupid voice.
I think you should be talking in that voice at all times. I mean, you take your real voice, destroy it, it's gone, it's over.
It's gone.
Reincarnate in with that voice. Could you imagine going into it like a meeting?
I like the Russian one though. I can do the Russian one a little bit more natural. I think
you could, and you do, but
it's not Russian. It's a
mock.
I gotta be honest. It's Call of Duty Black Ops. It's the Russian character in there.
So
Dempsey.
What were we?
Oops, I sharded. Some of his quotes from the game.
Which, by the way, was the funniest shit in the world when we got into. What was that with? What was his name? That rando we got in the other day. I'm still talking about this guy.
Speedy?
No. First guy that was chill as fuck.
I poops?
No, that was the
Dangerous
other guy.
TV?
No.
Okay. Prophet?
No.
Prophecy? No.
You're ruining everything. Stop talking. You're the ruiner of streams.
Yep.
All right, so let's.
Yes, this is my wife's coffee cup. Full disclosure. I couldn't find mine. I don't know. It says, through each door, I discover a new friend. Each welcome makes an imprint on my life.
Ha
And then it
ha!
says, for every life that touches mine, for every friend made, my vision is clearer, my understanding broader, my humanity deeper, my purpose fulfilled. Or is that the old English you were hoping for?
That did it for me. I'm there now.
It's a touch of it. Not I can't do it justice, but I love Patrick Stewart. He's the man, and
Isn't
I
he
try
dead?
to channel my.
He died.
Oh, don't say that shit.
I hope not. I liked him in that Star Trek.
Oh, Sean Connery, rest in peace, passed away.
Oh yeah, dude. Rip to the Sean.
Oh yeah, he's a man.
Remember that guy? You know what? Sean Connery
Yes,
did
Miss Moneypenny.
yeah, he did such an amazing job acting in so many different characters, but the fucking one that sticks
Martini.
out was one that he never played. No, hold on. One that he never played. You ready for this? Shit's gonna get real. SNL skit with Alex Trebek and fucking Sean Connery. He never did it. But it was the mock of him. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
The Jeopardy one, you don't remember them?
No.
Take a time out. You know what? Sit in the shame corner. How do I put a dunce cap on your head? Hold on, I'm gonna figure that out real quick. Hold on. Right now, going to find it. No, I'm gonna do this. You know what? I'm committed at this point. Dunce cap. You can continue talking, so there's value. Oh no, I gotta. Then I'm gonna have to cut it because it'll just be a square image, and then I'm not fucking with that right now. I could. It's not that hard. It's just pain in the ass.
Yeah. So going back to this Stadia thing, yeah, it boggles my mind too that you've got a cloud-based system and it can achieve enough, we'll call it latency or lack of latency.
Yeah, that's my concern, latency.
That it's enjoyable, and I think it's a relativity standpoint. I think if you're on a system like that and you're playing with other people, it comes down to what's the equivalent user experience. If you're playing with other people on Stadia and they have an equivalent delay, as long as the delay feels responsive enough where you're not getting annoyed by it, like from a direct interfacing standpoint, then the next part is, are you able to be competitive enough in whatever kind of game it is, either if it's co-play or direct competition?
I heard Coltrane in my head when you said Coldplay.
Oh, nice. Does it feel? Do you feel like you're being competitive, or do you feel like you're at a disadvantage because then you get annoyed from a user experience?
I wanna start with my comments on this, acknowledging that I've never used it. Right. I kept seeing these freaking ads on our streams, not this stream, but like some other things, and I'm like, what are these ads? Like, what is this Stadia thing? And I never actually had the interest in, Das Googles and find out what it is. So yesterday on Faction Files, we were going nostalgic and reaching out to old school RF players, and sure enough, one of them, Butters, made a comment because I was talking about gaming rigs, and I said we were kind of talking while we're using this comm software, which is this Xbox thing to go cross-platform, and he's like, I said, not everyone has gaming rigs. I mean, let's be honest, we don't. I mean, I do, but you do, but like, Trash Panda's rocking an Xbox because, she sits down for 10 minutes before, a kid monopolizes the world. So that, and Mev prefers Xbox over PC now because I don't know, he's over 50. I guess that happens.
Yeah.
He made a comment. He's like, yo, who needs a gaming rig? You got Stadia. And I'm like, wait, explain that to me. So the description I got was Stadia was basically a cloud-based gaming rig that you can utilize on your home box. And just like I said, the hardware background in me, just mind blown. It's like calculating out latency round trip on the infra side, and I'm like, are they high? Because you can't. Like, what type of gameplay experience are you talking about? And supposedly he said it was pretty good.
You know what? This might rein in a perspective. Remember back in the day, Cookie Plus?
Yeah.
He was from Australia, and he would often rock the 200 plus,
Alan.
300 plus.
Alan was rocking that. Yeah.
And So I mean, it's doable, and I think it all depends on what the person's expectations are. But it seems like it's manageable if you can get within that, we'll say 100 to 200 area. It's not that it's great, but then it comes into that equivalent gameplay experience.
How could you ever be competitive with that latency?
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing too that I think you brought up earlier that is different with what I just pitched with our old comrades, and that is
Comrades, calm down, commie.
is
Our friends. How's that?
oh, well, it's the Russian in me coming
Oh, okay,
out. It's
there you
my
go.
comrades. We drink vodka together.
K-Mac,
Uh,
what's in your cup?
that's right. I don't tell. Um, but to your point earlier, you have to send the input to this thin client through this thin client, as we'll call it, um, and it's got a bounce back update. If they're doing like full server side processing and rendering, you
That's
lose
what I
that.
understood.
Yeah, you lose that client side predictive
Now,
capability.
now think about this. Sorry, not to interrupt, but you just spawned like a light bulb went off. In
Yeah.
addition to that, we were just talking about pure latency of input versus response to input versus
Mm.
feedback, right? So there was three elements of the input stream that was concerning. But another concern, like what kind of bandwidth would you need? Because like let's for instance, this stream right
Yeah.
now is chewing 7 meg up. We're streaming at 1080p. If I was rocking the 4K stream, which all my equipment's capable of, just not Twitch or the platforms, and also not my network, my WAN connection, like you would have to have a stupid sick down. I mean, now granted, it's download. Okay, got it, and that's not necessarily as a big of a deal these days as it used to be. Back when
Right.
it was a bottleneck, but still, I mean, to stream 4K down at high def, I mean, like true, like, and
Well, I think.
you're gonna stream it like you can't stream it 60. You're gonna have to stream it
Yeah.
like 120.
Well, here's I think a beautiful thing with technology these days is when we play on a computer, we're talking about a fixed quality display, right? We set it up for 1080 or whatever. We set it up for whatever graphics capability. When you're talking about a video stream, depending on the codec, it can be dynamic. So it can modify the quality of the stream to maintain a certain level of performance, if you will, which is kind of cool.
Well, then,
Which is what Netflix and some of the other companies are doing with their
yeah,
streaming of,
but
of movies.
hold on, but they're adding in compression, right? So now you got to pack and unpack.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
A
these
lot
big
of
companies are doing is streaming with pack unpack. But with the compression, the problem is again
well,
because we're talking about gaming and
a
that
lot of it's
interaction delay.
actually, if I'm
Sure.
remember correctly, I think some of it's actually in the codec. So like, your screen will be
Mm-hmm.
chunked up into regions, and depending on how much a region can change, like my display right now,
Yeah, like
only about
264. I'm feeling you on the encoder side.
yeah, only about 20% of my screen is changing right now because really it's my chair, my body, and my face. Everything else is a static image. So what the encoding process can do is say, hey, you know what, this area isn't changing. Let's really only stream, I don't know, 20% of the screen. Now that's a best case scenario. We're talking about first person shooters.
It's the whole thing.
You're moving 90% of the time, right?
No, 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 no.
Sometimes
More than more. Well, okay, okay, yeah, yeah. The
unless
time
you're
spent
you're a
moving,
sniper and
but
rotating.
here's the thing: you can't count on that, Bob. Even if let's say you're camping, right?
Right, but
You still
consider
need
it
a full
as a
refresh.
system of processing rules to try to bank on best case situations and ultimately statistically come out with
Got it.
something that can dynamically adjust so that you have the best possible experience. Actually, networking works the same way with games, which we could get into on the other topic.
Hold on. I am like fiending to just counterpoint that. I am like drooling here. All right, so run with me on this thought exercise.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
We're camping.
Yeah.
We pitched a tent. We're hanging out. Not the tent that one would think I'm referencing when I say pitch a tent. I'm talking like in a video game. We're sniping. You don't have the ability to refresh or utilize like a portion of your screen's changing because the whole screen is real-time interactive. Whether it's static or not, it still needs an instant refresh because how else would you see the new target, right? You know, someone walks into you. I'm
Right,
looking
but
at a
they'll like take my hand here, right? It's moving across the screen. So, and I understand too. I'm only talking about one aspect of the encoding process.
got
They
it, but
actually have to use a couple different things. They actually use predictive motion, if I'm not mistaken, to
got it.
predict what areas will change as well. Now,
Understood.
yes, if you're moving your
Well, hold
screen
on.
left and right, all the
You
pixels
jacked
will
my
change,
point,
right?
man. You jacked my point. You didn't let
Oh
me.
yeah,
You didn't let me finish. Like, shame on you, sir. Like,
shame on
you
me,
know what? I'm gonna exercise the mute button if you keep it up.
son of a. All right, what do you think of
Bam!
the
Muted,
big show?
fucker. My stream. Eat it. No, but what I hold on. I need a minute. All right. What my point was, what I was getting at is that it can't be encoder specific in regards to region, refresh, etc., because the entire thing is live, real time, interactive, and 100% dynamic.
Well, what
Wait,
I'm explaining to you is an aspect of the encoding process. It's not the end. There is no one thing that the encoding process is going to do to make the whole thing performant unless you're in that best case scenario all the time.
I'm crushing your head on the stream.
Ooh.
Okay, no, I hear you. What I'm trying to say is the only thing they can do if bandwidth was an issue, which it may not be, right? Maybe Stadia's target users, right? Their target customer base is high bandwidth, low latency people. Like if everyone had a FiOS line or or a wicked cable line, something that well, you couldn't even use Comcast because don't they throttle you or fuck you up after like a TB or I don't know some minuscule amount of data transfer. Which, by the way, can we switch gears on this? This is something that I hate. This goes back
Well, how about
years.
we pin it? Let's finish this up quick, and then we'll circle back.
What? No, I wanted to pin the subject we're talking about.
Okay.
Just farted. Hi,
Damn.
beautiful. Hold on,
That's
I'm
not a
streaming
view.
though. So give me a hot
Stinkies aren't
minute and I'll
beautiful.
come grab you.
Oh, you're
So
talking about a person.
yeah, different person. It was another human.
I know, I was just
There's a
trying to
whole
mess with you.
bunch of little humans that run around here. All right, so I did want to go on a rant about a certain cable ISP, right? So this goes back years. So this was back when if you did 100 gigs of transfer, you got the flag, and they'd send you a nastygram. While at the same time, they're advertising unlimited. That happened. So that
Oh yeah, I mean, cell companies do that today still too. I mean, a lot of them will broadcast unlimited, but it's you get a certain amount of performant bandwidth, and then
yeah,
once
that's
you
not
hit the
even what
cap,
they did back then. So what they did back then, they advertised it as unlimited. If you hit 100 gig, and that's easy to do because if you're popping distros, you remember back then I was cycling through Linux distros like underwear and Windows OS is with my MSDN subscription. I was just going to town. So
yeah,
totally non-pirated bullshit, totally not anything, like 100% legit use plus gaming and living basically online 24/7
yeah,
and downloading demos and shit like that and just keeping up on tech and new games and stuff.
Quake 3.
Yeah, I mean it was nothing. 100 gigs was nothing back when,
Yeah,
remember that Two Cows site existed. But anyways, today 100 gigs is laughable. What's 100 gigs? I mean, I can download that in a game, in a single game.
yeah.
But anyways,
Shoot, Arc is like half a terabyte.
there you go. Well, you'd have to download it over 5 months back then. But the thing is, they were advertising it as unlimited and they gave you crazy speed, which is great. But when you
Yeah,
hit that, they didn't throttle you down and be like, okay, we're just going to degrade your performance. They sent you an official letter with I still have it somewhere because I used to pin them on my wall as trophies because I was waiting for them to fucking shut me down because I was like, fuck you, I'm going to sue the fucking piss out of you just on principle. I don't, I had extra income. I didn't care. It was just a principal battle. I didn't mind if I lost $20,000,
yeah,
$50,000 fighting them just to prove the point because not everybody has those resources to fight those things. So I was like, I'll just do it for John Doe Everyman and fuck them. Anyways,
Yeah.
they sent me a letter on 100%. This is not business related shit. This was 100% personal shit for personal growth and development plus gaming and recreation, and 100% legal. No pirating. Easily hit this magic number, and they wouldn't tell you what the number was. We later found out it was 100 gig, but they wouldn't tell you what the number was. They sent you basically a cease and desist letter, and they said, we're going to shut your internet off. Now, here's the interesting thing. Back then, you only had them. That was it. That's all you had for internet. Now, how is that right? They used public taxpayer money to build the infrastructure that they're now charging me and saying it's unlimited, and they're selling it to me as unlimited, and I'm paying for unlimited. Then they tell me, well, you're using too much of your unlimited service. So if you don't stop using your unlimited service to this mark that we're not going to tell you how much it is, we're going to shut your internet down. That was fucked.
Yeah, sounds like a strong arm tactic.
Yep. Oh, and they still do it to this day. They just changed their magic quota number. And now they do state, that particular company does state a quota.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was trying to go back to the devil because of gaming and things. Now this DSL line I have now, slow as fuck, but stable.
Yeah, well, stable's good. So where were we? Because we went off on
I had to go down the rabbit hole.
Rant. Okay, what was the branching point? Roll me back.
Well, we were talking about Stadia, and we were talking about the encoder element of it, and that came up because of the context of, how
much bandwidth?
Yeah, because at 4K down.
Yeah. So the aspect I'm talking about is just one piece of, I think, what the encoding process does. But ultimately, the goal is, if you are pushing the limits of what the stream is capable of, it will downgrade that stream. And it will try to do it in such a fashion where it tries to maintain user experience. And if that means it can potentially keep an area of high change.
You're talking about a variable bit rate.
Yeah, variable bit rate, but also variable quality on the display. So that's why sometimes when you're watching something, you'll see an area gets kind of like chunky on your movie. It's because that area ended up getting degraded, but another area of the video maybe not.
But the audience for this service is expecting a 4K capable,
okay. I don't know any of the stats of the service,
game.
So.
I mean, it would basically be like they're selling you, and again, this is just based on what I heard. I don't know if this is true or not. I haven't, and maybe you know what? Maybe we need to actually get the service just to test it and then provide some feedback,
or at least pull up the specs that they're marketing.
Because we're literally talking out our ass at this point. This is totally.
We just did it as a conversational topic came up. Like, oh, okay, well, what is it? What do we think?
How did we get on that? I think was I still software bashing? Is that how we got on Stadia? I don't know. So let's talk about Red Faction. So last night was fucking cool, or yesterday, I should say.
Yeah.
Not last night.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That was fucking cool. I was loving the fact that we got a chance to catch up with some old players, Butter out of nowhere, and fucking playing with Prophet was legit. I would love to see more of that. I'm borderline, like I'm really on the fence about maybe even firing up that old shitty game, which I shouldn't say shitty. I never hated it, even when it was the cool thing to do to hate on it. I love that game. I mean, I still got boxes of it somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, the geomod was cool. I mean, that was groundbreaking, but the net code and the security on it was shit.
Agreed, but you know what? In its day and age, it was revolutionary.
I'm losing your stream a bit, by the way. It's stalling out.
Is it really? I'm getting no errors on my side, 0. But my bandwidth consumption did go down to 3,500. It's back up.
It could be my end. Maybe something's updating.
It's back
just
up.
Calling it out just in case.
Is it clean? Now it went down to 2K.
It's a little chunky.
Now it's 1K. What the fuck? 8K. 800.
But anyway.
Hold on. A moment. Let's no, this is a good data point for me because of, stream life. What do you, is it still fucky?
Yeah, it looks chunky and it's pausing out, and then it just had a little reload blip.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of weird fucking bandwidth output. Something must be trying to chew the send. Well, you know what? It's coming back, so we'll just have to see and check its health later on the analyzer. I can go into my appliances later on my LAN and see what was consuming it and make the correlations.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well,
So go
hopefully the
ahead.
resulting
Moving on.
stream will be
Thank you
level.
for the call out. So what was that? We were I don't know what the minute was. Okay, it's
Yeah,
39
we're talking about
39
Stadia
50.
again and
We'll just say
how it
39
was
minute on
cool that.
stream.
Oh yeah, yeah. 39 minute
I'm
on stream.
clapping it so that way when I go back I know what to grab.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, yeah. RF Geomod was awesome. Being able to like sight somebody and blast a hole just in front of them, scare the piss out of them.
Yeah, I was commenting about you to the faction file crew about you used to strategically use Geomod to your advantage. I mean, you were fucking intentful on like, okay, I'm gonna blow a hole in this wall here, and it'll give me the perfect position for this. I mean, you were like a
Here,
little
buddy, get a little
miner.
perch
You were a true miner.
or drill into the other team's base. That was interesting.
Yeah. Do you remember that? I don't know what map it is, but you ended up putting a fucking fast track tunnel to the team's base, and I would run through it and crap their flag and go through the tunnel.
Which map was it where oh, probably gonna sound like every map, but you have a flag. You had the
Yep,
flag,
they're in every map.
and then you move forward. It was an L, so you move forward. You're like at the foot, the foot of a leg. You move forward. You get to the heel. You take a left. You go down a hall. On in the ceiling or the second floor of the hall was a perpendicular bridge,
Yeah, checkmate.
and then you go. Was that checkmate? Yeah, I think it was checkmate that we did that. We did a fast track underneath the level to the other checkmate base.
All I know is you and a precision rifle, man. Ugh, that was
Oh, I
awesome.
love that thing.
I loved
And
having you on my team.
my 3-click shot. You know, a lot of I didn't learn this until who the hell was I? DNR. I was battling DNR somebody in a G Leagues match 1-on-1, and he was rocking the shotty, and a lot of these players would. I don't know if he was doing this, but a lot of these players like to roll with like double click on the mouse. I was rolling like a super cheap Logitech M100 or whatever the hell it was called, and I had to rely on my finger. So I would train my finger with a rubber band just so I could get the muscle tone, so I could snap it quick, so I could do bam, bam, bam.
That's just an example, one of many, of how tweaked you get with gaming. I mean, because you saw what I rocked, dude. I rocked the like one of the original trackballs from Logitech that had fucking rollers on it and encoders
Yeah.
off the rollers. I mean, and everyone made fun of me about it. Everyone's rocking these nice, cool new tech shit, and I'm rocking this ancient fucking trackball I got at a computer show. You remember when there was sort of thing, computer shows?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was my entry into the computer world. I remember Dad taking us to one of our first computer shows and built a 486 DX 133, I think it was.
DX4 133.
Yeah. Now we had other ones we built before that, like a 386, but it would be parts that Dad would bring home from work that they were throwing
Yeah,
out. And
that
shit.
was my first
We
box.
had XT, AT.
It was a 386 33, I think. I ended up building it. So my uncle had this computer that he gave to my cousin, and it was all fucked up. It was running Win 311. You know the deal. But I only needed DOS because I was rocking BBSs for life, right? That was my thing. So
Yeah.
I didn't load Windows that much. I just rocked DOS, and then I would BBS the shit out of everything, which caused
Oh,
my
interesting.
parents to hate me.
Did you run? Did you run any door games on your BBS?
So I wasn't a host. I was a leecher. I did eventually get into small hosting, but I only had like 2 or 3 nodes or dial-ins. So,
Mm.
and I wasn't smart enough back then to use like red box, blue box, shit like that. Later on, I got smart and started playing with boxes to hop across. But yeah, BBSs were fun, man. Um, there was, you know, games that I loved. Oh man. Now, it was when I was on 2400, so graphics were out, but it was, I think it was called Space Trader or something.
Trade
Where,
Wars?
yeah, no. What was it? Trade
No, not
Wars?
Trade Wars.
It may have been.
BBS game called Trade Wars. Basically, it was textual based. You hop sector to sector.
Yeah, there it is. Trade Wars. Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, me and my brother and his friends and stuff used to play the piss out of that game.
Yeah, Trade Wars, and then obviously,
There
dude.
was the
I remember when I got email. Dude, I had email on a BBS, so they had internet access. Obviously, we didn't, right? We just had
Yeah.
BBSs. See, people don't understand there was once a time where the internet didn't exist. So, not to John Doe every man, anyways.
Yeah.
So
It was
you would,
there. It just wasn't mainstream.
yeah, you couldn't get it. I mean, like there
Yeah,
was,
BBSs were more likely. You get that local host, you dial into that box with like 20 modems attached to it.
yeah, yeah. Dude, I remember when I got my US Robotics 28.8, or no, it was a 33.6. But you know, everyone had 28.8, so it doesn't matter if you had 33.6 or not. You're still rocking 28.8. But that fucking, and then I got hold on. At one point, I got ISDN. You know, 3 channels. So you had your two channels, and then your supervisory channel. But I was
Yeah.
rocking at USR Courier. Yeah, that was a good
Oh,
shit.
did you rock the Trade Wars front end app that would give you a visual of the map?
Nothing I had could handle visual back then. I was basically pure text.
Yeah, this was
Um,
back 1995.
do you know my first computer? Like my first, not my like box computer, but like you know my parents after years and years of pounding them because you know rocking his 386 and scrounging parts, right?
Yeah.
Um, they finally caved in and bought me a computer. And now they didn't let me go build one for some reason. And you know, I'm a young kid, so anything for free is a good thing. It
Yeah.
took my dad finally caved in and he fronted, he's like, we'll get you a computer. I'm like, oh thank God. This is back when a computer was like 3Gs, no problem.
Mm.
No problem, 3Gs. I got a I got a Packard Bell Pentium 150.
Yeah.
And a nice
So
15-inch CRT with the weird side clamshell monitors on it.
yeah, so just quick plug. So my top 3 door games, um, Legends of the Red Dragon,
Trade
Usurper,
Wars.
and Trade Wars.
Trade Wars was my shit. I mostly got into chats and then file sharing and
Mm.
then scripting. That was my thing back then.
Okay,
Oh
software guy.
no. Back then in my life, I went a different route. I'll just put it that way.
I'm just messing with you.
I wasn't dancing the nice and straight line.
So but yeah, so going back to Stadia,
No, I
it's
didn't want to
doable.
go
I think.
backstage. I was
You know
thinking.
about
No,
Stadia?
I like this. This is something
You
that
like
we
this?
actually know about. All right, so Rip Graphics. Remember when that hit?
What was that?
Rip
Rip.
Graphics. So I had a 14.4, dude. Look, I got my 14.4, and one of the admins over on the BBS was like, "Yo," and I'm not gonna say my old name because there's shit associated with that. Hey, check help it. You got a good, you got a good 14.4. Test it out, right? And I'm checking out, and I'm like, "Yo, I think we could run Rip." And he's like, "You think so?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's fucking try Rip." Dude, Rip Graphics in BBS World was like Rev a fucking Lutionary, man. It was like adding a whole new layer. It was like I won't say GUI, but you know, everything prior to that was just console like, and when I say console like, I mean like, terminal.
Yeah.
And you actually had graphics. And it wasn't like graphics like today, like this graphics, but it
Like
was fucking
ASCII
cool.
art graphics and shit.
No, it was step above ASCII. I made one ASCII art that actually was good.
So
One.
real quick, just because I didn't realize, so Stadia apparently is a Google product.
Hey Google,
Stadia.google.com.
why don't you help us out? Give us some shit for free. We'll test it out and then we'll come correct.
Well, they already did that. It's play
No,
for free. Get instant access to a collection of games with a 1 month Stadia Pro free trial.
no, I don't want a free trial. I want them to just give it to me for free. I don't want to give them any of my information other than my email. Find me on the stream. Let me know. We'll test it out. We'll eat crow if we got it totally wrong.
Yeah, it looks like some games are free just across the board if I'm reading their plug right.
Hey, what are they going to do with technology, with TV hosting, with streaming in general? So here's my point.
Yeah.
TV is dead. I mean, there is no such thing as TV anymore. I mean, these big conglomerates are trying to hold on to these primary channels and tech. It's old tech. Streaming's where it's at, and it's not. It's because every idiot in the world can stream. right? And there's actually people that do really fucking good shit on streams, to the point where I have no TV service. I only, now granted we have Amazon, we have Hulu, we have Netflix, but I also have like YouTube, that I watch YouTube channels quite a bit, and they're really good. The point that
Yeah.
I'm making, they never let John Doe Everyman, John Q Public, whatever, have access to that type of audience without restricting the fuck out of them, right? It's like an example, on public stations, you can't say fuck you. On this, I can
Right.
say fuck you.
Yeah, it's unregulated
Yeah.
for all intents and purposes.
How long do you think that's going to remain? I
It's a
bet
good
you
question.
within 1 year or to 2 years, especially with the political environment right now, if everything goes through, and there's a transition of presidency, yada yada yada. They're all about regulation. And look, I'm not trying to say one party is better than another party. I'm not saying that. Look, my views. I'll just tell you my views are. I'm a libertarian, man. I'm a live and let live guy. Like, stay the fuck out of my life. You do you. You don't hurt me. We're good. I don't care about anything else, as long as whatever your pursuit of happiness doesn't negatively impact mine. I'm good. I love you.
Right.
But anyways,
Yeah.
back to the point. This they're very regulatory happy, and
Yeah.
this
I think it comes down to
they're gonna.
lobbying and money.
Yeah, well, think about it. How are you going to make money with these big conglomerate channels, right? With having all these free media inputs. Now, you know where the money
Yeah.
is? Here's my investment advice. Investment advice from Freak Show. Find the tech that's going to bring everything together. And then that tech you put all your money into. Where it can make one-stop shop, and basically make the equivalent of your channel click switcher on the old school TVs, where you would flick. You would
Yeah.
go up and turn the knob.
Yeah. Now, here's an interesting thing about TV, and there is, and probably still is, public access, right? Now, I don't know how that works, but there are degrees of quality and expectations even in
By the way,
TV
time
land.
check. I got to bounce in 10 minutes, so stream's gonna end at 10.
10-4.
I got to pick up Mama Freak
Pick
Show.
up Mama Freak Show.
Mama. Wait, hold
Mother.
on. There you go.
Tell your
Mother.
children not to walk my way. Tell your
Stop.
children
We're gonna
not to
get
hear
copyright.
my
We're
word.
fucked. You
Shit,
didn't
my
pay for
bad.
those bars. We're fucked.
No, hey, they came out of my chest. But yeah, the lyrics are not mine. My bad.
That's why you say Mama.
Danzig is awesome, by the way. He's got some good shit.
I
Got a good
love
voice.
I love that dude on Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I don't know if it was really him or not, but
Yeah,
fucking
I don't know.
he had they did a skit with Danzig in it, and I need more blood.
Now, I have no idea on his personal views or anything like that, but the tunes, just the melody aspect and that stuff, I like.
Hey, newsflash! I don't know if anyone knows this, but I kind of like Twisted. Just didn't know if anyone knew that. ICP2 back in the day, dude. I was heavy in ICP. I was introduced to Twisted at the Electric Factory back many years ago on the Riddlebox tour with ICP. Twisted opened up for him, and I didn't like him at first, like, because I was all about ICP, and because Riddlebox, dude, that was my shit. That was my jam. I love Ringmaster, but Riddlebox just took it to a new level. The problem, my buddy I took to that concert was loving Twisted, and I was like, dude, get the fuck, dude, fuck, they're all right, but, and it was actually this album right here, Most Tasteless. So, anyways, I still did score their CD. Glad I did, because I got the original one, which they ended up reprinting. They canceled it and took it off and then reprinted it. But as time progressed, dude, Twisted just scratched my itch, man. I mean, so did ICP, but ICP went a slightly different direction. I'm not hating. I mean, I still jammed to him, and nothing but loved ICP, but I just ended up going down the Twisted hole.
I think either I'm standing really still or my video froze.
No,
Nope, I'm
you're
just
good.
really still. I get real
Sniper.
still, I guess. No, that's cool. It's something I've learned through the years. I remember when I was younger, I made this problem. My dad educated me, and I still do it though. And he's like, I'd listen to a song. He's like, well, do you actually listen to the lyrics? You know what that song means? I'm like, no, I like the rhythm. I like the beat. um, which I think there's a lot of wisdom in what my dad said. But something else I learned though is, you know, just because you hear some music and you don't necessarily like it or it doesn't jive with you or you think the lyrics are bad, something I think is interesting is to try to put yourself in the shoes of the artist. Why were they writing it? What's their perspective? Because,
Oh,
you know,
bringing that depth.
yeah, bring in the depth. Because um, there's a lot of music out there, and there's a lot of different ways to take art, and that's exactly what it is. It's art, and it's in
Yeah.
the eye of the beholder. And something that's interesting to
Well,
do is
too,
to
it's multifaceted. Eye of the artist and eye of the beholder.
right, but it's I think something I think is really cool to learn over the years is to put on different eyes of the beholder, if you will. Put yourself in different perspectives. Like, hey, if I was this kind of person, how would I perceive it? Was I that kind of person? How would I perceive it? And I think it's kind of neat.
If people could only do that with a hell of a lot more subjects outside of music, we'd be in a utopia. Because look, man, like I just mentioned about, like my political affiliation, I mentioned I'm libertarian and I give my view of live and let live. I, I believe, and I don't know if this is good or bad, this is just how I am. Like when I was younger, I was a bit more of a hothead, and fuck you, do it my way or go fuck yourself. I've gotten to a point in my life where I'm just literally like, as long as you're not harming anybody, you should be, you should be happy to do you. And in order to really truly say that and appreciate it, you have to understand where other people are coming from. Because
Mm.
with that statement, as long as you're not hurting me, you do you. You're not hurting anybody, right? I shouldn't say just me, but you're not negatively impacting other people while in your pursuit of happiness. You got to really understand what that means, like to live like that. That means you got to accept shit and understand that shit that you fundamentally disagree with, like at your core, that you got to respect their right to do it. That's tough.
Yeah.
And there are times where I find myself in that conundrum of challenging my consistency of belief. Is fuck. That's a situation. Like there's one subject my mom and I got into a discussion about, and I was trying to be consistent with my application of logic, and I started saying some shit that even I was like, oh fuck. Does that mean I endorse that? No, I don't endorse it. I'm just saying, that I can't judge it. You know what I mean? And it was on some shit that I fundamentally disagreed with, and it was tough.
Yeah.
But no, I try to stand true to it. I mean, whether I like you, I hate you. Look, as long as you're not violating my rights,
Yeah.
you got to roll
But
with it.
interestingly, do your comment about, if people could do it for things beyond music. And I think that's the beautiful thing about music is it's a great starting point. Because I think if you can start and do it with music and open up your perspective to different tunes and different styles and different ways of thinking, like take some music that's vulgar, right? Be it heavy metal or rap or hip hop or pop or whatever.
Do you want me
Um,
to plug something for you?
yeah, well, I don't care.
No,
It's gonna be
I
your plug, not
well,
mine.
no, I mean, let's pick on the guys behind me. I mean,
Yeah,
some of the shit, like one of their songs, "Murder, Murder, Murder," is their fucking song title, and it's just talking about sneaking in windows and killing bitches and just. But it's the most horrendous song you can hear. Now, granted, some of it's just shock value, just for entertainment. It's like watching
hmm
a horror movie with audio, and people
right.
got to understand that that's all it is. There's comedic value in the shit that they say because they're just saying
Yeah,
it
the
because it's
ridiculousness
yeah.
ridiculousness of it,
But
kind of like
then,
boob jokes.
but then there's an element that it's righting wrongs too. I mean, that's
Yeah,
the one thing I'll give ICP credit for. It a lot of their music is just for kicks, right? But
yeah,
if you listen even to their like a lot of their like the heinous statements, like they're gonna go kill somebody or whatever, which is lays through all their music. It's always about like killing a rapist or a child molester, or fucking bringing retribution to the evil, or to, like supporting the people or doing bringing justice. We'll call it justice.
Yeah. And that's something interesting too. Is I think there's a lot of great music out there that I think gets misunderstood for that reason. And because from one perspective you look at it like, oh, that's just heinous and this and that, and you don't look at the depth. Take I fired up some DMX. I used to roll DMX a lot, and
Yeah.
it was really really good stuff. And some of it, like this is kind of was my eye opener because I was introduced to it, and before that I was like, no, it's not my thing. And it was classic rock and heavy metal, older school heavy metal like Black Sabbath and classical music. And for whatever reason, I grew up with biased, and I was like, well, there was some hip hop that I liked, but most of it I was like, no, no, it's too vulgar. I don't like it because of this and that, and I refused to open my eyes and look at different perspectives. And at a friend of mine that
Magic.
really
Oh.
that really turned me on the DMX, and I started listening to it. And this is gonna sound stupid, but I have to digress there because I'm wrong. My memory is wrong. It was actually the movie Gone in 60 Seconds. One of the scenes where they're in the Humvee driving down the parking garage that is jacked, and they're playing DMX. And was it Up in Here? I know that's one of the verses, but
Up in
I
here.
don't.
Up in
Yeah,
here.
but I didn't roll that hard. I don't want to be sound like I know what I'm talking about. But the thing that was an eye opener to me was that okay, well, let me really try to understand the perspective of the lyrics. And once you do that, it was like, hey, you know what? You're talking about people that are, again, they're coming from a place where they have a perspective, be it from a hard part of the neighborhood where they've got to have, you got to watch your back, you got to do what you got to do, or you have a certain environment characteristics that you're working with, and I think there's a lot to be appreciated there.
Wow. So while you were talking, I mean, so I'm not going to go too much into my background because that's a long time ago. But I don't think, like you said the term like bad neighborhood, right? Rough neighborhood, something. I forget
Yeah,
the exact quote. Tune me up if you want to quote it exactly. But
yeah, I'm just rolling like,
no, no, no.
and
I feel what you were saying, but I don't know. It sparked something in me when you said that because it's like even in where I came from. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, your neighborhood was your neighborhood. There's not a good or bad neighborhood,
yeah,
and
right.
you learn how to, because that's the only neighborhood you know. So you learn how to survive in your
Yeah,
neighborhood.
and that's the thing is it's not the neighborhood that's bad, the people. It's
No,
I
no, no, no.
think
Hold on. That's what I'm saying. Hold up. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think there's such thing as good or bad neighborhood, good or bad people in neighborhood. I mean, you do. You got some dirt
right.
bags in neighborhoods. You got good guys in neighborhoods. You got the crazy guy sitting on the stoop in the neighborhood. I mean, you got all that crazy shit. What I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
is, at least for me, and this is when I got to choose my words carefully. From my perspective and my experiences, I'll just leave it vague. I would
Yeah,
say that there is no such thing as a neighborhood. It is. Sounds so fucking theoretical because I can't get the context because I don't want to divulge that part of my life on the stream. There is no such thing as a neighborhood. It is what you know. So that it's not a neighborhood. It's a
mm-hmm.
reality. And
Right.
there's not, and because it's kind of like you can't know love without knowing hate. You can't know hate
Yeah,
without
well,
knowing love.
part of it's hindsight, right?
You,
I mean,
I didn't know what I was doing when I was growing up in context of right or wrong to society
right.
because in my environment that was acceptable. That was what you did. And whether or not, that's why when someone says bad neighborhood as an example, that's why that triggered such a boom light bulb in my brain, a reaction. My
Yeah.
brain triggered me. No, not
And well, that's the other thing too is like it doesn't do the neighborhood justice when you call it that way. And I got to call myself out on the labels, but
it's
it's
stereotypes,
hard.
man. It sounds
It
like
does.
you're
It's a
talking
double-edged
down
sword.
about
It's
it. It
like
feels like
you
it.
it is, and that's the unfortunate trouble with trying to describe something is how do you describe something in a way that gets the point across sometimes you have to do it in a way that
Yeah,
that
we got
is not
there.
the best. But so it's in, I think what makes a neighborhood rough is not really the majority of the people are there. It's a smaller percentage. Like all things, negative usually stands about more than
What I would
positive.
argue, though, is what I would argue from, again, this is only freak shows experience,
Yeah,
growing up where I did and doing the things I did, yada yada. There was no neighborhood element of it. It's just like when, if we talked about the web, the jungle,
yeah,
and all the different crews back then and the areas, you didn't it wasn't like it was a neighborhood. It was just that's where you're at. So it
yeah.
was never
But
we never
yeah,
considered it a bad neighborhood. It wasn't its own entity. It was our life, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. It makes sense. I think it depends on your stage in life. I think when you're younger, you don't have
We
that
had no
perspective.
context.
Yeah, you don't context. Like when I was younger, I didn't have a context for good or bad. There was a part of my life where we lived in an okay place. There was a part of my life where we lived in the boonies, and we had it would rain in the wintertime because there was ice in the attic, and that's an experience. So uh, and then at another later point in my life where I was afraid to go outside on my street
Oh,
because a
see,
cop got shot down the road. It's like, so it's
dude, a guy got
yeah,
shot right. So we're just interesting thing. I mean, shootings where I came from were a lot more common than probably they should have been. I
yeah,
don't think anyone should get shot, to be honest with you, unless you're like some horribly evil person that's causing harm to someone else. But other than
yeah.
that, we always tried to encourage. I mean, we had,
Time check.
yeah, I'm at time. I'm going to finish this thought and I got dip. So when we grew up, there was people carrying. I mean, like some of us had guns, some of us didn't. I personally, and I would say the majority of the crew we ran with did not want to kill you. The thing was is if this is the bet I know their names. I don't want to call them out on stream, but
Mm,
something that we always did, always, and unless you were like an outsider that you were trying to do some fucked up shit, but if you were from our area, like our block, so we were North 4th Street, and we had a lot of crew there, and we had Mifflin, Guilford, and all the way down to Weidman in some cases. So and then as long as you were from our crew, if we got say we got into a disagreement, you never had to worry about getting shot. But you did know, you knew, not that you're gonna get shot or killed or stabbed, but you knew you're gonna get your fucking ass beat. I mean, there was no discussion about it. We would beat each other's asses so bad, and then, I mean, and occasionally it turned into more than a one-on-one. Occasionally, pretty rare. Most of the time, we just stand back and you know go fuck it. You cross the line. Now you got to pay the price. Now whether or not you win or not, but here is the beauty of it. When you were down, that was it. Generally speaking, 9 times out of 10 when it was evident that you were the clear winner, it stopped. And then we went back to playing football. You typically if you're really fucked up, you're sitting on the sidelines getting conscious and you know trying to
yeah,
find someone who had some water or Gatorade. And we didn't have Gatorade back then. I mean, well, it existed. We were just too poor to have it. But you would drink some water or whatnot and
yeah,
recoup. Then you'd play football again if you were still capable. If you can't, you went home. Then your parents would get all pissed, and then there's a feud on the street where you got 6 different families hating each other. But it was gone
yeah.
within a day, and then you're right back at it.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about perspective. I think is important. Going back to that is like my experience growing up completely different. I
Yeah.
lived in the boonies a lot. We had this one spot where there was 40 acres of preserve behind us. This is the house that was kind of falling apart. Um, that where it would rain in the wintertime because the ice was melting, but on a warm day. But and then other parts of my life, I never holistically ever had to worry about or deal with or experience and grow from what you described. I had
And the
other
thing, yeah, absolutely, and that goes back to your point about music. Appreciating where people come from. But what's interesting is a lot of people take their background and perspective and try to make it everyone else's, and I
things.
think that's wrong. I mean, there was a portion of my time I grew up like that. Then there was a portion of my time I did grow up in the middle of the sticks and became straight up hillbilly boy, And then there was times I was in big city life in Philly. So pick your poison. And there's a lot of gaps in there that I'm not going to fill in. But look where I'm at today. I mean, I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere. Got 100 acres out in the middle of the boonies, fenced off, loving life because that's what I chose and that's what I love the most. I don't like having people all up my face.
Yeah. So. Hey, I think you got to go, but
yep.
Something I think would be cool for some of our gaming viewers would be to cover maybe some tips, tricks, and just general understanding of game mechanics and
get some content, man. Get some ideas. I think we should do.
Oh, that's what I was going to roll with at the start. I got a good talk track we can.
All right. Well, then here's the deal. I mean, maybe some demos or something. We'll fill it out. So I got to drop now. I'm gonna be popping on probably in a little while. I have a few hours, and then we'll be gaming. Cool. I'm hoping you'll be joining, and we can throw some lead at people and pop some nugs.
Hell yeah, I love popping nugs.
And
crack some eggs.
Whether or not this is a popular segment or not, the Coffee with Freak Show, I think we should keep doing it.
Yeah, I think sometimes it'll be willy-nilly. Sometimes maybe we'll have some sort of focal point.
I mean, I borderline want to think about if there was a way for us to schedule it, but I don't want to wake up an hour early every day to do it before work, and I don't want to do coffee at night because I'm going to be wired like a crackhead. So.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be coffee. It could be
it has to be coffee.
Chilling with the Freak Show.
It's in the title. Title's unchangeable.
Decaf coffee with the Freak Show.
Are you a Satanist? Decaf is unholy and un-American. Any decaf drinkers out there, just I'm sorry, unsubscribe. You're done. Joke.
Okay, hold on. I gotta hit that button. I'll catch you later.
All right.
Unsubscribe.
Anyways, much love, Bob. Thanks for chatting. So for everyone's awareness, this is kind of what we chat about anyways on the phone. So we just happened to bring it on camera, so it was fun.
Yeah, maybe it'll be I don't know, something fun to share. It's fun to share, even if it's junk.
You know what? Fuck them. I like it.
All right. Peace out, Freak Show.
Later.